Hey guys, what's up? It's Adam here, aka Anticenaguy. Hope you're all doing well. I haven't been around here for a while because I've just been so busy in my personal life, with work, etc. And before I get on with this episode of Ask Anticenaguy, episode 7, you may notice I've got a bit of red on me. I've been painting my garage, so don't worry, it's not blood or anything like that. So, just a bit of paint. Okay, I'm not going to ramble on. I'm going to get on now with episode 7 of Ask Anticenaguy. Looking on my laptop here right now at some of these great questions that you guys have left me from episode 6. So let's get on with it. The first question from David8986 says, Hi Adam, I love your channel and I hope you are well. You mentioned in the past that you like Bottom. I too love that show and it is one of my personal favourites. My question is to you, have you ever watched other comedy classics such as The Young Ones, Blackadder, Red Dwarf, Only Fools and Horses? If so, I'd love to hear your thoughts on them. Well, out of the list that you just mentioned, I'll probably say that The Young Ones of Blackadder stands out more to me than Red Dwarf and Only Fools and Horses. The Young Ones was when it was like Rick Mayall and Aid Edmondson when they were younger. I remember that so well because Aid Edmondson played that young punk rock Vin Bastard, I think his name was. It was an okay show, but I prefer Bottom more. But The Young Ones was okay for shits and giggles for certain scenes, whereas as Bottom, on the other hand, I just laughed throughout the whole episodes. So I do like Bottom a lot more than The Young Ones, But I can get away watching The Young Ones on a rainy day. Blackadder, which was starring Rowan Atkinson, that's okay as well for shits and giggles. Again, I'm not absolutely in love with the show, but again, I'll watch it if there's nothing else on. But Red Dwarf and Only Fools and Horses. Well, my dad loves Only Fools and Horses, and we usually get together and watch that around Christmas time. My sister usually makes Christmas dinner, and we usually watch Only Fools and Horses. After we eat Christmas dinner for bits of shits and giggles again. But that's one thing I'll mainly remember about Only Fools and Horses is the memories it has of my father and everything. He's still with us. But I'll remember it for like the Christmas memories that we all have. So, thanks for sending that in. Next from Gareth Story says, Hi Adam, I thought I'd ask you one questions from episode 6 for the next episode. It's nice that you respected the new rule. Thank you. Next from Scott Hughes 6640 says, Hello Anticenaguy, love the video. Thoughts on the BBT getting backlash over the Bluey reaction? I've not seen the Bluey reaction. But the guy who plays Billy Bob Tanley is a friend of mine. If you've been with us since the beginning, we did like a little bit of a controversial debate and feud over the BBT network and the Lorenzo character, because I played the Lorenzo character. He's a friend of mine, and he's a great guy. That's all I'll say about the guy who plays Billy Bob Tanley. The stuff that he does on his channel is just purely fun. It should not be taken seriously. I know that he's not on YouTube a lot anymore because he's sick of YouTube giving him strikes, for all the wrong reasons. And he gets a lot of criticism from his videos, where, just like anyone else would get a lot of criticism for their videos for whatever they upload. I don't get why people do such shit in this world, but it's just the way the world is. Videos should not be there to be taken seriously, or at least some of them. And this Bluey reaction, although I've not seen it, it's just probably him taking the piss out of a video or doing a sort of reaction to somebody else's video. And that's what he enjoys doing as a hobby. So it shouldn't really be taken seriously, but a lot of people get butthurt in this world by watching things that they see on YouTube and all that shit, and it's unreal. Next from Movie Fan 2340 says, Hi Adam, hope you're well. What is your favourite Robin Williams film? I'd have to go with Mrs. Doubtfire. A lot of people say that was probably his best performance ever, but I like him in all sorts of things. He was one of my childhood heroes growing up, one of my favourite movie actors. Like I say, I like him the best in Mrs. Doubtfire, but also I liked him in Jack, I liked him in Hook, Flubber. What else has he been in? The Bicentennial Man. He's been in so many memorable roles. Robin Williams. He did the voice of the genie in Aladdin also. So he's had some such memorable roles with Robin Williams, and he was a big part of everyone's childhood, not just mine. But if I have to go with favourite, it'll have to be Mrs. Doubtfire, because my mother adored that film, Mrs. Doubtfire, and that's one thing I could thank Robin Williams for, making my mother laugh. She's somebody who's no longer with us, and I mentioned that quite a lot in some of my other videos, that my mum's no longer with us. But she loved the film Mrs. Doubtfire, and I think that's one of the reasons why I love it so much. Not just because it's a good film, but because I've got so many fond memories of my mother laughing. And I've got Robin Williams to thank for that, for being such a great comedian. He really brought entertainment and joy to all of us all around the world, and I really miss him. I miss his films. The way he went left this world was completely unnecessary. Next from Pockets4230 says, Hi, Anticenaguy. Do you enjoy eating burgers, pizzas, kebabs and fish and chips? If so, which one do you like best? Well, in my opinion, you can't beat a nice pizza. My pizza is pepperoni and mushroom. As far as burgers and kebabs go, I like to eat them sometimes, but like I said, they're guilty pleasure foods, and they're foods that you eat on a missed day if you're looking after your diet like I do. Same goes for fish and chips. I like battered chips with a fish, and I like kebabs and things like that, but I just don't eat them all the time. I only eat them like when I really, really fancy them, because what we used to do at work is every Friday we used to treat ourselves to fish and chips, or go down the cafe and have a fry up or whatever. But I put lots of weight on at one time, and I still treat myself to a kebab or a pizza every now and then when I fancy it, as like a day off, spoiler, but at the list that you just mentioned, you can't beat a pizza, pepperoni and mushroom. From Perfect Pizza, or by Papa Joe's, and Domino's is okay as well. So thanks for sending that in. Next from Curtis Moore 2552 says, Hi Adam, would you ever like to meet Paul Heyman if you get the chance? Definitely. Paul Heyman is a legend and a well-deserved Hall of Famer, the ECW genius. Possibly the greatest WWE manager of all time, Everyone who he mentions to be a Paul Heyman guy has moved on to be his big success, or at least some of them. And Paul Heyman, like I say, he has the full package of a great manager in WWE. He's smart-minded, he's a genius, he makes everyone laugh, he knows when to be serious, he knows when to be funny. Paul Heyman is just definitely up there as the all-time greats, and he deserves his Hall of Fame spot. So thanks for sending that in. Paul Heyman definitely up there, with possibly in the top 5 of the all-time greats managers. The ECW creator, who can ever fucking forget that? So yeah, I would love to meet Paul Heyman. I would love to meet him and add his autographs part of my collection in the house, because my house is surrounded with WWE autographs all over the walls. So, and all the people that I've met. More to come next February as well. I'm meeting some more. I know for a fact if Paul Heyman was advertised, it would sell out within hours. So, who knows? Maybe one day I'll get my chance to send that in. Next one, Bloody Python JY4HW says, Hello Adam. I know both of these movies aren't your favourites, but which one do you think has more brutal kills in your opinion? Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 or Halloween Kills? To be honest, I don't mind Halloween Kills. Out the 3 films that they made, the Halloween Kills and the Halloween Ends, Halloween Kills was the best one out of the 3. I don't like Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, and in fact I don't remember any gore in that, which I could be mistaken, because I only saw that movie once and I didn't like it. So I remember Halloween Kills very well for the kills. I remember that being very brutal, and there's some good gory bits in that film. So I'm going to have to go with Halloween Kills, mainly because it's the one that I badly remember. Next from Badabum663 says, Hi Adam, what is your opinion on each of the GTA 5 characters, Michael, Franklin and Trevor? And what did you like about each and one of them? One moment. What stood out about them 3 characters is that they had their own personalities. I mean, Michael was like more the family man that he'll go to extreme lengths to protect his family. Yet he seems to be like the richest out of the 3, and he seems to be like the more posh, laid back. Because when you look at his house, he lives in a mansion with a swimming pool and all that, and he's got his bright kids, Tracy and Jimmy, and his wife Amanda, who's cheating on him. And he's like going to full extreme lengths to win back his family. But he seems to be like a badass, but at the same time this posh type of laid back villain. Where we look at someone like Franklin, he's more like gangster, and Trevor's like more of like the most violent and psychopathic character, you know. But out of the three, I like Trevor the most because his personality is just right down to the core, you know, with his extreme violence and his nutcase persona and all that kind of shit. So, love all three of them, and three memorable characters from GTA 5. I can't wait till I see GTA 6 when that comes out and see what characters they have in store for us for them, you know. We're all waiting for GTA 6. Come on, GTA 6, hurry up and get released. Next from Charlie Cunningham, KQ7XU says, "Hi Adam, just a quick question. What's the name of the intro of the start of the Anticenaguy's old videos from your old account?" It depends what season you're talking about. I mean, I think I made about 4 or 5 seasons on my old account of Anticenaguy. So I don't know which specific one you're talking about, whether it was season 1, season 2, season 3. I still have all the themes, and when I reach Anticenaguy episode 11, which starts a whole new category, I'll change the music, I'll change the intro, and hopefully it will come back to the one that you were talking about, and then I'll be able to answer what the name of the song is. Next from Ashley's Channel UK says, "Hi Adam, I just got one question. If you had a time machine to travel back in time, what year would you travel to?" That's an awesome question. I would travel back to the 60s. And that's no word of a lie. Because I'm old school when it comes to music, horror and movies. I would love to have spent my childhood growing up in the 60s, my teenage years through the 70s, my age 20s through the 80s, and then my adulthood through the 90s, and then going into the early 2000s, because I want to see everything happen in terms of movies. I mean, like I say, the birth of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees, Freddy Krueger. I would love to have been in the generation growing up when them movies were coming out. I mean, I was born in 1987, you know, so I didn't really know who Freddy was and all that until I was slightly older. But I'd love to have gone back in time. In terms of the music as well, like all the bands like the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, ABBA, Elvis, you know, I'd love to have heard all them songs when they was first coming out. I would love to have fucking be there, you know, when all these movies and music was all coming about and all that. So yeah, the 1960s, growing up through the 60s, 70s and 80s and 90s and seeing all the great music and all the horror coming out, it would have been fucking epic, you know. And I'd mainly do it for my childhood as well, because we all wish that we could go back into our childhood. It was the best times of our lives. So yeah, my childhood is one thing I would love to go back and see as well. Next from Gareth Storer says, "Will you re-upload the movie reviews like the Charles Play and Batman franchises? Also, will you review the Superman movies with Christopher Reeve?" In terms of the re-uploads, I don't think I've got any more videos to upload, so don't worry, I'm going to make new ones. And in terms of the Superman movies with Christopher Reeve, possibly in the near future. You know I keep saying that to everyone who requests all these movies for me to review. I will get around to it one day in the future when I'm not so busy. I'm finding it so hard these days just to come on here and make videos for everybody, but I do miss it. I do miss making videos, so who knows? All I can say is just bear with me. Next from the Sim Factor 1 says, "What are your thoughts on people like me criticising the BBT?" Again, it's going back to Billy Bob Tanley again, my friend. I mean, I don't know what you've been saying about BBT. Hopefully it's nothing too crucial. I mean, the guy's just having fun on YouTube, you know what I mean? He's just having fun and just doing his hobby like he likes to do. He likes to reacting to videos and uploading his reactions because people find him funny. But he is a funny guy, and he's a nice guy as well in real life, you know, so I hope he's not taking a break from YouTube because of all the criticism that he's getting from the viewers. When you become popular on YouTube, you're bound to get haters. You're bound to get people who are going to criticise you. It's all part of the package of being popular and famous, basically. Movie actors get it, wrestlers get it, footballers get it. Everyone who's famous has a category of people who really hate them, You know, you can't be loved by everybody, but you're also going to be hated as well. So it all comes with the package of being popular. That's all I've got to say. But I hope them people aren't making him stop what he loves to do. Next one, Chris S says, "Why do you always have short hair?" Perhaps I already answered it when I say it looks good on you. It's comfy, but has there ever been a period where you've had long hair? Now, I shave my head every 2 weeks. Mainly because I've never been a big fan of my hair, you know what I mean? And I think it suits me with the close shave, like. I've always liked the look. Plus, I am losing my hair a bit at the back, so it kind of doesn't look right when I grow my hair too much. You know, plus I always think it goes in a weird shape when I grow it too hot, when I grow it too long. So I've always kept it short, and I've always liked the look. You know, so that's mainly the reason why I've always kept my hair short. It's comfy, yeah, especially when you sleep and you can feel all areas of your pillow. But now I cut it short because I just like the look, and I just don't like it too long because it goes into a weird shape, and it just doesn't look right at the back of my head where I've got this bald patch. You know, so that's the reason why. Okay. And the last question from Wrestling9899 says, "Me and my girlfriend are thinking of going off to Blackpool one day because she's never been there. And with my 3 year old, it is for the children." Yes, go to Blackpool. It's my favourite place in the UK, Blackpool is. I like to go there for a break as often as I can. I go at least twice a year to Blackpool. And like I say, you've got Coral Island, Sea World, you got the Pleasure Beach, you got the Three Piers, you got all the arcades, you got the main beach. It's a nice little break for anyone in the UK that doesn't want to go abroad, basically. And I think it's a nice break, Blackpool. You got your bad areas, you got your good areas, just like any other place. But Blackpool is one place where I highly do recommend. Okay, I hope you have a good time there. Those are all the questions that I've received from episode 6, everybody. And you know what to do for episode 8. Leave all your questions in this episode so that when I do episode 8, I can look back on this episode 7, and answer them. And make sure you get plenty of thumbs up. And remember the rule, only one question per episode, please, so everyone can get a turn. Alright, thanks for watching this, everybody, and I'll see you another time. Peace out.